Hello my friends, I'm Devi Daly and this is a sequence of some of my favorite Yin Yoga poses. We're going to hold them for 2 minutes at a time, which is what I do when I don't have a lot of time but I really want a full body tune-up. You won't need any props for this. We will start sitting down in Seiza position, sitting on the heels. I'll see you there in a moment. Starting here in Seiza, sitting on top of your heels, or you can use a block or a rolled blanket underneath your seat and in between your feet. And taking 1 minute to relax into this position with your spine tall and to tune into your breath, to feel your breath. Checking in with what's here, what's present. Bringing consciousness to your breath, maybe for the first time today, as you follow with your mind's eye the inhale as it enters the body and swirls around inside, and the exhale. And slowly opening the eyes, letting the arms relax, and coming onto your belly for a Sphinx or Seal pose. So on the elbows and the forearms for Sphinx pose, your hands can be clasped or they can be palms down, whichever you prefer. And you could be higher up. If you want more sensation, this is a good choice to come into the Seal pose. So for the Seal, your fingers can turn out to get a little bit more of a ability to just lock into your bones, to lock into the arms and relax here. And the hands can be farther forward for a less steep, a less intense back bend, or closer in for more sensation, if that's what you'd like. Once you find your position, your legs could be closer together or farther apart, depending on what feels best in your lower back. The target area of this pose is the lower back, the lumbar spine, and also maybe some stretch in the front of the hips. You can soften and relax the tops of your feet and the toes against the ground. Soften and relax the belly, the low belly, and the front of your hips. And you can lift a little bit of energy up into the head, into the upper spine. So a little bit of lifting here, but from like the ribs down, try and soften and relax. And stay connected to your breath. And releasing down now. Rest your forehead on stacked hands. And feeling right away what's happening in the lower back just after releasing the pose. Maybe give a little wiggle to your hips. And now press up and back to child's pose for 1 minute. Feeling the spine moving in the opposite direction now, the length of the lower back. And breathing into your whole back body. And slowly releasing child's pose and come up to a sitting position for shoelace or square pose. So the shoelace pose, right knee on top of the left and coming forward. The square pose, very similar with the legs, the knees wider apart, the right shin on top of the left shin and coming forward. And so an easier version of this pose is to just take both feet onto the ground so you're crossed at the ankles, and you could also sit on a pillow or a folded blanket for some extra lift to make it easier. And so we come forward in any of these positions with the intention of stretching into the glutes on the right side when it's your right leg on top. As you enter into the pose, notice any extra movement you want to make just to really let yourself settle in, and then eventually finding stillness. Finding stillness and breathing within the stillness. And slowly release the pose, bring the spine upright, and slowly lean back on the hands as you change your legs, left leg on top, once again knees on top, or shins stacked to come forward. And if you take this shoelace pose, and as you can see for me, my feet don't come out at equal angles, and that's not anything to worry about. You don't need to try and have any particular symmetry here. Once again, just working on getting a stretch into the glutes on the left side here. That's what's important. And sometimes it feels good to angle your body to the right or to the left to find that stretch. Eventually settling into a place of stillness. And slowly releasing, feel the spine coming upright and continuing all the way down onto your back to rest for 1 full minute. Taking this time to feel the effects of the pose in your body. Give yourself permission to take up space here, spread out through your arms and legs if that's what feels good. And releasing, bring the knees in toward the chest, hug your arms around the legs, gently rock side to side. And roll all the way over onto one side, coming up to hands and knees and then into the frog pose. So for frog pose, we begin in a wide knee child's pose. And so the feet can be close together, the hips come back toward the heels. And from here, you can let your chest come down toward the ground. You're always welcome to use a bolster here if that's what feels good, some kind of pillow or stack of pillows under your chest and head. And you can stack your head just on your hands or arms out in front. And now options here of what to do with the rest of the body are to maybe start sliding forward with the hips, maybe start bringing the feet wider apart. And so your hips might come forward of your knees or farther back. And the way you decide where to hold is by the stretch you're feeling in the inner thighs and the groin. And holding again for 2 minutes. And slowly release and come onto your back for another 1 minute rest to feel the effects of the pose. Now feeling the energy moving up through the inner thighs and into the central channel of the body in front of the spine, the liver meridian. Breathing into this center. thighs. Hug them into your chest. And lift your head up towards your knees, squeezing up into a ball, and release back down and roll to one side, sitting up for half butterfly pose. So taking your right leg in front, your left leg bent, and coming over the leg with your hands on the leg or on the floor. Any side or any place that you want to rest the legs is fine. You can also sit up on a folded blanket or a pillow to make this pose more comfortable. Notice what you feel in the target areas of this pose, which are the back of the leg, back of the hamstrings in particular, and also the back of the torso, the spinal column, and the thoracolumbar fascia, which is the lower back, between the lower back and the ribs. You can let your shoulders soften, let your spine soften, so that you feel the fascia in the back body lengthening, spreading. And slowly rise up and change sides. Resting forward over the left leg. And slowly release, sitting upright. both legs in front and lowering down onto your back once again for a 1-minute rest. Feeling the body coming back after that forward bend on two sides, stimulating the kidney and the urinary bladder channels in the back of the body. These channels run up and down the backs of the legs and over the crown of the head, down the spine, down either side of the spinal column. And now bending the knees, draw them in towards your chest, hug the arms around and gently rock side to side. And now coming into a spinal twist, taking both knees over to your right and your left arm out to the left side. So your right hand could anchor the legs down, or it could just spread out. If you liked crossing the knees, you could take that variation called twisted roots. The head could turn away from the knees all the way or some of the way. See what feels comfortable in your head and your neck for the whole twist of your spine to feel balanced and easeful. And slowly releasing, come back to the center. Pause at the center for 2 breaths. And take it over to the other side. And slowly release the twist. Make your way into a final relaxation position, spreading out, sprawling out in a star pose, or any comfortable position you'd like. And feeling the effects of this practice for the whole body. Feel your energy body coming into balance. And breathing into this whole body. And my friends, that's our practice. Thanks for joining. Namaste. Well, I hope you enjoyed this class, and I would love it if you'd take a quick moment to leave me a comment down below and let me know how it went. And if you haven't seen it yet, check out my playlist of Yin Yoga classes. And be sure to subscribe to my channel, where I'm adding new classes every week. See you next time.